Welcome back. And for those of you who are new to the channel, I am here. This is a place where we come together to create interesting stories. So if you enjoy good storytelling, then consider subscribing so that you will always know when we have a new release. Without further ado, let us begin. Why is it that we often find ourselves drawn to people who are completely different from us? I mean, we've all heard the saying, opposites attract, right? But have you ever really felt that pull? Let me share a story that dives deep into this very idea. A tale that proves the saying is more than just a catchy phrase. Picture this, two individuals from entirely different worlds. She's an angel, radiant and ethereal, and he's a vampire, dark and mysterious. On the surface, they seem worlds apart, don't they? Their beliefs, morals, and even their very species are at odds. He was born under the moon's glow, while she basked in the sun's warmth. So, how did they end up together? Buckle up, because this is a wild ride. Meet Victoria Justice, an archangel who lived in Everglades, a magical realm where the sun never sets, and everything sparkles with enchantment. Imagine a place where magic flows like a gentle stream, and you can feel the warmth of the sun on your skin every single day. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, Victoria lived there with her angelic family and was known as one of the most powerful warriors in Angel Land. Her wings were as white as fresh snow, shining brighter than anything else in the sky. Just seeing her would leave other angels in awe. But here's the twist. Despite all of that beauty and power, Victoria felt a deep loneliness. She was surrounded by angels who, while lovely, just couldn't keep up with her. They seemed weak and slow in comparison, and they didn't understand her sadness. Life in Everglades was supposed to be perfect, but Victoria yearned for a partner who could match her strength and wit. She thought that someone like that didn't exist until she met Selena. Now let's switch gears and dive into Selena's world. She was unlike anyone Victoria had ever encountered. Born in the shadowy realm of Umbra, where the moon was the only source of light, Selena's home pulsed with a different kind of magic. Umbra was a wild place, filled with all sorts of creatures, demons, vampires, and even a few humans. It was dangerous, sure, but it was also thrilling. Selena had the confidence and street smarts that Victoria lacked. She wasn't afraid to speak her mind or stand up for herself. In fact, she was stronger than any angel Victoria had ever met. The first time Victoria laid eyes on Selena, she was in the thick of battle, fending off a group of demons who thought they could ambush her. It was like watching a dance, the way Selena moved swift, deadly, and graceful, like a lioness on the hunt. By the time she finished, the demons were left groaning on the ground, begging for mercy. And there stood Selena, her chest rising and falling from exertion, looking fierce and beautiful. With her long, flowing black hair, skin as dark as midnight, and eyes that sparkled like emeralds, she was captivating. Victoria felt an undeniable pull towards Selena, like a moth drawn to a flame. She wanted to learn more about this fierce warrior and maybe even tame her wild spirit. Little did she know, Selena was just as intrigued by Victoria. For Selena, meeting an angel was a new experience, and she was curious about this being of light from a completely different world. As they began to talk, something magical happened. They started spending all their time together, exploring the Shadow Realm, battling demons side by side, and sharing their secrets. Victoria learned that Selena was a vampire, a creature of the night who thrived on blood instead of food. But she was also a warrior queen, leading a small coven of vampires who lived in hiding. Meanwhile, Selena discovered that Victoria was an archangel destined to protect the innocent and fight against evil. Despite being an angel, Victoria was kind, compassionate, and brave, qualities that Selena admired deeply. It was fascinating how different they were, yet they shared so much in common. Both were strong, independent leaders of their people, willing to do whatever it took to protect those they loved. As their bond deepened, they fell head over heels for each other, but their love was forbidden. Angels and vampires had been enemies for centuries, and the vampire elders had decreed that Selena should never associate with an angel again. But love has a way of breaking barriers, doesn't it? Despite the risks, Selena and Victoria continued to meet in secret, stealing moments together whenever they could. They didn't care what anyone thought. Their love was their own, and that was all that mattered. But then, disaster struck. The vampire elders discovered their relationship, and they were furious. They banished Selena from Umbra, forbidding her from ever returning. Can you imagine the heartbreak? Selena didn't want to leave Victoria, but she loved her too much to risk bringing harm to either of them. So, with a heavy heart, she left the Shadow Realm and went into exile. Victoria was crushed when she learned about Selena's banishment. It didn't make sense to her why her own people were so hostile toward the one person who made her feel alive. All she knew was that she loved Selena and wasn't about to let her go without a fight. So, in a bold move that no angel had ever attempted, Victoria crossed into the Shadow Realm, risking everything just to see Selena again. When Selena heard that Victoria had come for her, her heart soared. They embraced, filled with joy at being reunited, but reality hit them hard. They couldn't stay together. Selena was now a traitor in both worlds, and if anyone found out about their love, they'd both be in serious danger. So they hatched a plan. Victoria would take Selena back to Everglades with her. It was risky, but they were willing to face whatever came their way because they couldn't bear to be apart. But upon arriving in Everglades, they were met with chaos. A horde of demons was attacking, and the angels were outnumbered and struggling to hold their ground. Without wasting a second, Victoria dove into the fray, her sword flashing as she fought off the demons left and right. Meanwhile, Selena stayed back, using her magic to heal the wounded angels and boost their strength. Together, they were an unstoppable force, an angel and a vampire standing side by side against the darkness. As the battle raged on, they knew they needed help. So they sent out a distress call to the other archangels. Soon, reinforcements arrived, and the tide of battle began to turn. The angels emerged victorious, but not without a heavy toll. Many had been wounded, and some had even lost their lives. Exhausted but determined, Victoria and Selena knew they couldn't rest just yet. The demon lord who led the attack was still out there, plotting his revenge. Realizing they needed to be prepared, Victoria and Selena gathered the remaining archangels and the most powerful vampires they could find. They formed an alliance, uniting their two races for the greater good. It was a fragile alliance, but it was strong enough to stand against the encroaching darkness. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the battlefield, Victoria and Selena stood at the forefront of their united army, facing the demon horde. The demon lord was there, his eyes burning with hatred, weapons raised high, ready for battle. The clash that followed was nothing short of epic. Swords clashed, spells flew, demons fell, and angels soared. But as the night wore on, it became clear that the demon lord was too powerful to be defeated in open combat. Then a spark of inspiration struck Victoria. She called to Selena, and with a knowing nod, they put their plan into action. Selena used her magic to cloak Victoria in darkness, hiding her from the demon lord's sight. With the demon lord blinded, Victoria flew behind him and struck him down with a mighty blow. The demon lord roared in pain and anger, but he was too weak to fight back. Together, they had triumphed. In the aftermath of the battle, Victoria and Selena stood together, surveying the destruction around them. They had won, but at what cost? Many of their allies lay dead or dying. Guilt washed over Victoria. She felt responsible for bringing this war to Angel Land, but as if sensing her turmoil, Selena placed a comforting hand on her arm. When Victoria looked into Selena's eyes, she saw understanding and compassion. In that moment, she knew she wasn't alone. Together, they led their people through the aftermath of the battle, helping to rebuild Angel Land and forging a lasting alliance with the vampires. As the years passed, their love only grew stronger. They proved that even the most different individuals can find common ground if they're willing to look beyond their differences and embrace their similarities. So, what do you think of this story? Do you believe in the idea that opposites attract? It's a powerful notion, isn't it? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tale, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fantasy romance stories. Thanks for tuning in, and I can't wait to share more adventures with you next time.